Hey everybody, it's Thursday, October 16th, 2025. I'm Patrick, a disabled investor on $1 million mission to grow my registered disability savings plan, and I'm trying to grow it to $1 million. Today was one of those days that made that journey a little more difficult, but I came to a decision today that I think will help me in the long run. I decided what to do with the $5,000 that I had sitting in cash that was not doing anything in my account. And I don't know if anybody else has had this problem or concern with what to do with uninvested cash. I did some research and I bought $5,000 worth of a thing called a money market ETF, which essentially invests in fairly low interest, like a high interest savings account would give you, with minimal risk. I mean, there's still risk involved, but not as bad. So I bought $5,000 worth, about 100 shares of CMR, which is one of those BlackRock investment funds. It was iShares Premium Money Market ETF, CMR, on the Toronto Stock Exchange. 100 shares cost me $5,000 and change, and it'll pay me a 3% annual yield, which isn't great compared to some of the other stuff that I'm in. But because I'm invested at the National Bank brokerage, they don't charge me for every trade that I do. It's all included in the one low price of nothing, provided you have enough money in your account, which I do. So I don't pay anything to get in and out of that particular ETF or any others. I only really pay when I trade options. So thinking along those lines, it makes sense to put the money somewhere where it's going to pay something to have it sit there, rather than just earn nothing, like collect dust. Essentially lose value by sitting in cash for too long. So that's what I did today. I bought $5,000 worth of that, and that seemed like enough for me today, because there was concerns in the States about loan losses at the smaller regional banks escalating, and as a result, the whole market kind of took a crap, starting with the smaller, less or unprofitable or not yet profitable tech startups, which I have a lot of exposure to. So I saw my portfolio take a hit today of $5,200 to end the day at $178,517, which is unfortunate. But I don't sweat the small stuff, because I spent time playing Battlefield 6, of course. To pass the time, and I went into the woods and walked my dogs and did other things, went on with life. As I've said previously yesterday, doing this investing thing is kind of like cooking a stew, and today I think it kind of boiled over a little bit, and it's just the nature of it. You got to stir it once in a while to keep it from burning. There's my analogy. So that's what I did. I bought those shares of that ETF, and I watched as my portfolio dropped by that amount of money, $5,200. The worst among them was my investment in D-Wave Quantum. It took out $2,400 worth of my portfolio, along with the leap that I have for D-Wave. That also ate up another 800 and change. AST Space Mobile, even though it hit a record high today, it pulled back after that news broke about the regional bank concern. And Reddit, of course, took some money out of my account. But it's not lost totally because, I haven't sold anything yet. So, the loss isn't baked in until you sell. And even still, I'm not losing anything because, all of those are significantly up from what I paid. So, it's a wake up call, but it's not a big deal, if you know what I mean. Because if I sold everything now, it'd still be at a giant gain. In terms of what did well today, it was the big profitable tech stocks that added to my portfolio. Alphabet, Google was responsible for adding $500 through a leap that I have for it. It's a $165 call that expires in January 2027, and Google is trading significantly above that right now, so it's adding to my portfolio. ARM Holdings, yesterday it was a down day for it. Today was an up day for it. I added a couple $100 back. And Nvidia performed well today, so Nvidia, along with the leaps that I hold for it, also did well. And as I said, I did other things today, so I wasn't totally focused on what was going on here. I made my one trade this morning to buy that ETF, and hopefully catch a few bucks at the end of the month for holding it there. And that's what I did. Nothing really spectacular. I watched Quantum Emotion again today. It pulled back about 10% at one point. I thought about buying more, but I've already invested 1,500 shares worth, so I'm not sure, at what point I want to buy more. I am still confident on the stock, but I like to sprinkle. I don't like to go all in on anything. So that's where I'm at. Anyways, it was a challenging day, I gotta say. For when I was checking the portfolio earlier on, I saw it touch $186,000, and then checking it later, there we are, back to 178. Kick in the nuts. It's what it was. But like I said, I was doing other things, so it took the sting out a little bit. And that's all I can suggest to anybody that's getting started at this is don't focus all your energy on this. There's other things in life. That's my 2 cents anyways. Hope you had a good one, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.